the modern era, and I actually love PowerPoint, forgive me. So today's, I'm happy to open the symposium starting with a public service announcement. And that is, for those few of you in the audience who do not know what latkes or hamantaschen are, I thought I would go over it just for the small few who are going to eat them for the first time tonight. So what is a hamantaschen? Different Jewish communities have special foods which remind us of the story and planet Haman. Ashkenazi Jews often eat hamantaschen. Hamantaschen are meant to resemble Haman's three-cornered hat or pockets, and the Yiddish word for pocket is tash. Sephardic Jews often eat oznei Haman, long pointed cookies which are meant to resemble Haman's ears. So these are just some pictures of hamantaschen. The way you actually make the hamantaschen is to take a circular piece of dough and fold it in with the delicious filling in the center. The top 8 hamantaschen fillings, in order of preference, and these are my preference, start with poppy seed, prune, apricot, raspberry, cherry, blueberry, strawberry, and my kids' favorite. So what's a latke? Latkes are fried potato pancakes. They're part of the celebration of Hanukkah, reminding us of one of the miracles of Hanukkah, namely the miracle that the oil burned for 8 rather than 1 day. And to commemorate this holiday, we eat fried foods, and the foods vary by location. So what do you eat with the latke? Applesauce, yes. Soy sauce, sour cream, yes. Whipped cream. Brisket of beef. Not for the vegetarian crowd here. Okay, and a 6-pack of beer. Well, what's this thing really about? Is it just to compare the 2 festive foods of minor Jewish holidays? Or is it one of these tests that you get in college where you have to compare and contrast? Talk amongst yourselves. But is this really about apples and oranges, or poppy seeds and potatoes? Or maybe it's about something more than meets the eye or the palate. So the latke and the hamantaschen over time. Let me first say, to start off with, that I love poppy seed hamantaschen. And if there's no poppy seed hamantaschen at the end of tonight, I'm going to be very sad. These are hamantaschen that we made in anticipation of this meeting. But which came first? The pyramids or the hamantaschen? Surprisingly similar shapes. The Native Americans, I think, also believed that there was something mystical about this triangular shape. And finally, if you go through our history books, the hat styles from the 1700s are surprisingly similar to the ones that the infamous Haman wore. But it shows you, there's, as they say in Hebrew, ein chadash tachat hashemesh, nothing new under the sun. And some hat styles just never go out of style. Everybody knows that Ben Franklin was famous for many things, including inventing the bifocal and the Franklin stove, but very few people know that his invention of the lightning rod really took place and in the modern era, New Age pyramids are all about the connection between the mind, body, spirit. And this knowledge is supposedly to lead the individual to unite the physical, emotional, spiritual, and gastronomic aspects of the self to create wholeness. And that the pyramid has been adopted as a powerful symbol for these ideas. And finally, I don't think it's without notice that the food guide pyramid, the mystical pyramid made by the Department of Agriculture that tells us what to eat, is surprisingly similar to the mystical hamantaschen. But for many of you, compared to the latke, the diminutive hamantaschen is just small potatoes. The hamantaschen is ethereal, and it's really defined by its filling, where the latke is defined by several properties. First, we take a good potato, we grind it to a pulp, and then deep fry it. In some ways, it's beautiful, it's American. Though it didn't start in America. So what's the potato? Solium tuberosum, the 4th most important crop after wheat, rice, and maize, and this is true. Potatoes actually were first cultivated in the New World, starting back in Peru as recently as 4,500 years ago. And the great thing about potatoes is that they're very hardy, and they can actually feed a lot of people and thrive in poor environmental conditions. And legend has it that Sir Walter Raleigh brought the potato to Ireland, but it was also brought back by the Spanish conquistadors. And it became an important field crop in Ireland in the 1660s, and within a short time was popular all over Europe. And none other than equivalent of, French fries to the United States after his job as American ambassador to France. And so this is a picture of the potato, rich in carbohydrates and energy, no cholesterol whatsoever, completely fat-free, great source of protein, low in calories, full of vitamin C, a good source of many other B vitamins. And what do we do with it? We take it and make it into a myriad of possibilities, always eclipsed by the wonderful latke. So many of you, I'm sure, in the recent past couple of days have been to Borders and Barnes & Noble and love the Cooking for Dummies, and actually anything you want to do for dummies series. So here is Cooking Latkes for Dummies, Nouvelle Cuisine with Ethnic Enhancement. Beer battered deep fried latkes, latkes parmesan, salad of young latkes, the famous peanut butter and latke sandwich, latkes a la mode, spicy latkes with jalapeno sauce, and pan-seared latkes with peppers. Copernicus, the heliocentric view of our solar system, replacing a latke-centric view of the solar system. Now this is actually one of the interesting footnotes to history, is that actually Louis XVI and Marie Antoinette were credited for trying to introduce potatoes to starving peasants. And it's kind of sad that she's remembered for the quote, "let them eat cake," when she actually did want to do something very beneficial for her subjects. That's a little potato flour, which she actually was supposed to have worn in her huge headdress. Now this is a picture of our beloved Ferris wheel that was the main attraction of the 1893 Chicago, Columbian Exposition here, a couple of blocks away. Idealized and imitated from the latke. And these three men, one of the few things they had in common is a So in 1995, the potato became the first vegetable grown in space, and actually NASA and the University of Wisconsin at Madison created the technology with the goal of feeding astronauts on long space voyages and eventually feeding future space colonies. And our beloved, the Uber Spud, Mr. Potato Head, and his family. Now this is what happens when good ideas go bad. On the right is an attempt to make a latke in the shape of a hamantaschen, and on the other side is a hamantaschen sans the filling. So you see they're just not right. So let me conclude with a famous quote from Adele Davis, who was one of the forerunners of the healthy eating movement, and I believe that we are indeed much more than what we eat, but what we eat can nevertheless help us be much more than what we are.